Well, it's the last episode of the season, the final two games. We still have a chance of qualifying automatically for the Champions League. There's still a chance we won't get into Europe at all. So it's going to be one of those where I'm either really happy or trying not to swear, probably. Hello and welcome to part 7 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our final two games of the Serie A season. I have remembered that the little A's up here next to fixtures, that means it's Serie A. So there is an away one against Sassuolo and a home one against Crotone. Maybe Crotone? Who knows? I'm sure you'll tell me down in the comments. You tend to when I get stuff wrong. So since you were last with me, we've had a spectacularly good result and then some terrible results as well. So I think you were about for the Roma one, weren't you? The next three games, if we were going to guess which one of them we would win, you probably wouldn't have picked away against Inter. We did win away against Inter. We won it with tactics as well, because look at the formation we played in this game, everybody. Look at that! We went there, we played defensive, we wasted time, we had men behind the ball, we got stuck in, and we had, Italian style, most of the team behind the halfway line. And we nicked a goal, we nicked a 1-0. The other two games were against rubbish at home. We tried to win them. Yeah, it didn't work out too well. So we lost to Torino, we lost to Pescara. After the Inter game, we were second, 2 points ahead of Inter. I think, was it 2 points ahead? That sounds right. And it looked very much like we were cruising towards Champions League group stage qualification. Unfortunately, winning all those, losing the other games around it has meant that that's not the case at all. And we currently sit with 2 games still to play in the Europa League qualification position. But Udinese can't catch us because they've already played their second to last game. Inter, although they're 4 points ahead, are more catchable because we've got a game in hand on them as well. But even winning our game in hand still puts us 1 point behind them. So we need Inter to slip up. We're level on points with Roma, but we're behind them on the head-to-head rule. So if Roma win both their last 2 games and Inter win their last game, we can't get in the Champions League. So we need to win both games and hope that one of them, ideally both of them, but we hope that one of them slips up. Udinese can't catch us, but Genoa can. If they win both of theirs, we lose both of ours, we don't even finish in the Europa League spot, which would be an unmitigated disaster and probably result in me being sacked. So yeah, this is the team that we're going to be playing. So the first one of these is against Sassuolo. We're away from home. We're playing our medium tactic. We are sort of developing an attacking tactic, a standard tactic and a defensive tactic through trial and error and a bit of experimentation. This is all new for me. I hope you're proud. So our attacking tactic looks quite familiar to you, I imagine. Our defensive tactic is the one that we used against Inter. We're using Mr. Medium tactic today. We're away from home, we can't afford to lose, but I guess we also need to win. So there's an argument for going attacking in both games, but away from home in Italy, that always seems like a fairly bad plan. So, hold on, that's messed up the midfield a little bit there. What nonsense has gone on here? This is supposed to be like that. Why does switching back and forth between the two of them mess up the midfield? That's weird. But yeah, so we're going standard. We're not going too fancy on the team instructions, and this is the team that we're playing. So we've got Diego Lopez in goal. We have Antonelli at left back, Romagnoli and Zapata in the middle, and the fullback of many names, and apparently many fullback positions, is at right back. Mehmet Topal is our defensive midfielder in front of Montolivo, who we now have given the new contract to, and he signed it as well. 25 grand a week pay decrease as well. He obviously wants to stay, so why not let him? And Poli is going to be our box-to-box midfielder. Then we've got Bonaventura and Niang either side of Bacca. You know how that front three works by now. Even when we do the 4-3-1-2, these are still the front three because Niang goes up front and Bonaventura tucks in behind. There's no reason why we couldn't keep them spread out like this when we do that. But it's good that they can sort themselves out, move around a little bit. There's no reason why we couldn't switch to a diamond in this with the holding midfielder, I guess, and try it in this shape. But we haven't yet. Because, you know, having 3 different formations on the go is probably enough for now. We don't want to get too complicated. Don't want to get too clever, do we? Look, straight away, we're ahead of Roma, but obviously that leaves them with a game in hand. So it's absolutely essential that we ignore the league table and we just go and win this match. Because if we win this match, we're only a point behind Inter. Starting to put some pressure on them. I don't know who anyone's got in the last game of the season either. You know, that's probably something that a proper manager would have gone to check. But you know me, I haven't done that. And quite frankly, I think that's good management anyway. We shouldn't be concerned with what other teams are doing. We just need to win both of our games and hope that's enough. Knowing what's going on elsewhere isn't going to help us win these games. And bottom line, if we don't win ours, it doesn't matter what goes on elsewhere. So let's forget what's going on. What just happened? What just happened there? I mean, he's not played much this season, Zapata. That's why. If Gomez was fit, he would be in the team, but he's not. He's still coming back from injury. I mean, that was just poor. I don't even know what he was trying to do. Head it down onto his own foot. I mean, it was never going to work. His head should have been nowhere near that football. He either lets it go through to Romagnoli or heads it back to the keeper properly. It's sort of... Oh, that's annoying. Even then, he's not just heading the football. He's trying to head it off at a stupid angle. Learn from your mistakes, man. Right, cross comes in. Backer's made it 1-1. Disaster for now averted. Backer's cancelled out. Zapata's nonsense. But if he does it again, he's coming off, and I don't care. I'll play at centre back if need be, because that was just ridiculous. Desciglio, which I think is how we say it, no one knows. Lovely cross onto the head of Backer. He doesn't do that from left back. It just seems to be FM16. If you're playing at right back, you can cross. Play anywhere else on the pitch, you can't. Desciglio in a crossing position again. Let's whip in another beauty. Not really, there was no movement on it. Montalivo, though, out to Antonelli. Can he prove my theory wrong? No, he doesn't. Finds Mehmet Topal out to Desciglio again. Crosses in, Bonaventura, we're 2-1 up. And again, it's a cross coming in from right back, because that's where you cross from in Football Manager. We should just be focusing play down the right-hand side. We look at both flanks, but just focus it down the right. There's no point coming down the left flank. The only good thing the left flank is for is cutting back inside so it eventually makes its way to the right flank. But, you know, we got a goal, we're 2-1 up, and that puts us above Roma, which we were anyway with a draw, but more importantly, Gordon Bennett. I thought Italy was supposed to be good at defending. I mean, that's Romagnoli that time, I think. Just a suicide pass across the back four. What was he thinking? Oh, goodness me, they're going to give me a heart attack, this lot. Right, Topal to Bonaventura to Montalivo. What can he do? He scored a screamer recently. Doesn't. I mean, he tries to shoot too much now. I mean, he won goal of the month for that one in the last episode. Probably shouldn't encourage him to shoot anymore, because he's clearly not very good at it. He scores one worldie a season, apparently, and the rest of the time it's absolute pap, like that one was. We'll settle for this, though. If the final whistle went now, this will do. Goal difference and stuff doesn't matter around these parts, so... Which was probably part of the reason why everyone's so goose-darn defensive. Get rid of this head-to-head nonsense and make it based on who scores the most goals. Then people will stop playing 7 behind the ball. A 1-0 is worth the same as a 7-0, and that's stupid. It's not how football should be. Urgh. Right. At what point do we switch to our more defensive tactic? I am inclined to wait until we score again, because 1-0... I mean, you've seen the defensive silliness this lot have got in them. I don't want us to be one foul up at the back away from dropping back down to 3rd place. But then you saw, well, you didn't see, but you've seen on the results, and I saw, not against Italy, we're in Italy, against Inter, we defended brilliantly for the entire match and just nicked a goal on the break. So we have got it in us, but we don't look like we've got it in us today, because, I mean, it's just been ridiculous. I mean, you can see from the clear-cut chances, Sassuolo have had 2, we've had 1. We're mugging them at the moment under Kev's mugging rules. Cross comes in again, Backer's in. We'll give it 5 minutes and switch to defensive. We're 3-1 up now. We should be able to defend a 2-goal lead, surely. Is that a hat-trick of crosses from Desciglio? It just doesn't matter who's at right back. That happens. It's great. Ooh, I feel like I'm relaxing a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Been machine gunning my words out a little bit because I'm excited and nervous. But no, let's drop back a little bit. Let's chill out. We want him back there and him here. Come on, we know the drill, lads. Get in your right positions. There we go. Ah, it's so relaxing. Nice and quiet. Montalivo's coming off anyway for the other Maori. No, that's the right Maori. That's Jose Maori. He's the one who's any good. We'll do it that way around. Is it Jose or Jose? Let me know. I know the differences whether it's Spanish or Portuguese. I can't. Is he Argentinian? So it's Jose because they speak Spanish. There you go. I know some words. Niang, he can come off for Honda. Splendid. And when Honda comes on, we switch him to a playmaker because that's what he likes to do. He's good at that. So he can be a playmaker. And we'll just leave it like that. So we're now officially playing defensive, just trying to close out the game. In theory, if it works, this game should end 3-1 now. If it doesn't, that means we're doing it wrong. We shouldn't be scoring goals in this system. That's not what it's for. He says, having just brought on one of his more attacking substitutes and made him a playmaker. I don't want him to make any play. Oh no. Right, we can't take you off. Can't take you off though. So Suso comes on over there. And there we go. We'll just run the clock down, hopefully. There shouldn't even be any more highlights. That's what this system is designed to do. Honda, I mean, that would have been beautiful. It's off the crossbar and then back into the keeper's hands. I would have let him have that because it's a free kick. Free kicks are allowed to be scored in this system. Nothing else, so this is where they score and prove that I was right in wanting a 2-goal lead. That was just nonsense, wasn't it? Excellent stuff. So, we have officially, by Kev's rules of mugging, come to Sassuolo and mugged them, which is good because that's exactly what we needed. Well, it would have been nice to outplay them and deserve the victory, but in the circumstances, we can't be that fussy. Crotone, who we play next, have just been relegated, which is good because they'll have nothing to play for next week. So, huzzah! Let's go and beat them and get into the Champions League, eh? Right, Roma news first. Hold on, we're on the wrong screen. Sometimes I have this stuff prepared. This time I haven't. Roma didn't do very well in their last game. They lost it. So, as long as we don't lose against already relegated Crotone, we are definitely in at least the Champions League qualifiers. As you can see, we've already qualified as a minimum for the Europa League. So we're back to Europe. Priority 1, done. If we beat Crotone and Inter don't win, we're automatically through to the group stages of the Champions League along with champions Juventus. That would be brilliant. We'd love that. So we just can't afford to draw today. So obviously I'm trialling a new untried system. It's a variant of our attacking system. Those of you who watch the 24-hour stream might be very familiar with it because it's the one we were using with Ipswich in that roughly. We've made a few tweaks in this area. But basically it's the 4-3-1-2 we were doing. That's why we're already fluid in it, and we just dropped the midfielder back because Mehmet Topal plays there in every other system. Why not play him in this one? So he drops back as a defensive midfield player on support. Gomez comes back in for Zapata because he was useless in the last game. Rather than playing Bonaventura, not Bonaventura, who's the other one who normally plays out there? Bonaventura normally plays there. I've dropped Bertolacci, moved Bonaventura back here and kept Honda in because Honda looked lively when he came on in the last game. So we've got both Niang and Baka playing as complete forwards, one on support, one on attack, with Honda as a playmaker behind them and another playmaker in Maori even behind them. So there's plenty of creativity. Bonaventura bombing up and down the way he can, Topal anchoring, fullbacks pushing on the overlap, and these two just up there hopefully to score a hatful of goals. That's the plan. Let's see, shall we? Remember, as long as we don't lose, then that's alright. We're probably going to lose now because I'm trying something new, which is arguably stupid. Oh, we've got Donnarumma in goal as well. In the whole let's try something new, this like already relegated thing. So you've been asking for it, you finally get to see it. Donnarumma's in goal. If he concedes a goal that forces us to play in the Europa League, it's every one of you. That's your fault. It's nothing to do with the tactical changes that I've made today. It's you lot demanding we see Donnarumma. So if he plays well, of course, it might mean that he's in the team a bit more next year. He'll be 17 next season, which is still far too young for a Champions League goalkeeper. But Diego Lopez is a year older, and Donnarumma's a year older as well. That's how it works. But you know, he should be a bit better. In theory, Lopez is on the way down, so it might be that he's our best keeper next year anyway. Certainly won't be looking to bring in a replacement for Lopez at any point when we've got Donnarumma knocking around. So we'll see. I love the way our new attacking, exciting tactic has created 0 highlights in the first half. But then look at that disgusting tactic that we're up against. I mean, how do you... I haven't got any more words for it. The amount of times we've come up against that in our home games this season, the press conferences, why do you think you're more successful away from home? That down there, that's why we're more successful away from home. It's when we're away, teams don't do that to us. When we're at home, that's what we're up against. And I don't know about you lot, but I don't know how to get past a flat back seven, which is effectively what that is. Oh, I mean, look at it. They are in a line. That is a flat back seven with one up top and two in midfield. It's vile, and I'm glad Niang's got a goal, because now they either have to sit back and take more of that, or they can push on and let's have a bit of room to play in. Either way, we're scoring more goals from this point, because they deserve it. I mean, I'm glad they've been relegated. It's just disgusting. It has no place in football. Ugh, it's horrible. Really is horrible. I don't like it. I would never do that to any opposition ever. Ooh, we'd win. If we hadn't come up against that, we'd have won the league. That's how much that's annoyed me and scuppered me this season. I don't know how to break it down. There's probably a way. I mean, do we just stick 7 up front? Is that how you beat that? I mean, in theory, you only need 1 defender, because they've only got 1 attacking player. Oh, Niang's in again. Good. I'm glad. Oh, Inter aren't winning either. So as of right now, I'm having my rant against the horrible defensive tactics of weaker teams in this division. Meanwhile, I guess somewhere else, because we're playing at the San Siro at the moment, so Inter probably aren't. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Italy, Inter must be losing, I guess, because I think they won 72 points at the start of the game. That's what I want. I want to see what's going on in other games. One other game specifically. I'll let you guess which one it is. Latest scores, that's what we want. Niang nearly got his hat-trick there. So Inter are losing away at Chievo. That is potentially... I mean, they're in the relegation zone as well. What are Inter playing at? Inter playing. I cracked myself up. Right, substitution time. Donnarumma's done alright, isn't he? We might be on to something. I'm glad I thought to play him. You lot could have suggested it at some point. Right, we'll have Baccarat, give Luis Adriano a run out, hopefully a goal as well, because he's desperately due one. And we're going to bring Bertolacci on and just swap him with Bonaventura and tweak Bonaventura. Actually, we normally play Bonaventura as a trequartista. In fact, we will. I like a trequartista. But it looks like he's equally as good at being an advanced playmaker the way Honda was. If you notice how I know almost all of my players now, it's only taken a year, but I just about know who's who. And hopefully in the summer, now we're in theory back in the Champions League, we can't balls it up from here, surely. Bertolacci's doing his best, goodness me. Now we're back in the Champions League, hopefully we're going to get some money to spend, because £5 million last summer was not enough really for us to do anything. Yeah, we'll just do that. Montolivo, in fact, he likes to be a deep line playmaker, so he can be one. I wouldn't normally play with all these creative playmaker type folks in one team, but then I look at the formation the opposition are playing and realise it really doesn't matter what the man standing there is doing, because he doesn't need to touch the ball at any point. He's just got to stand there, because they're never going to get the ball up to that point of the pitch anyway. I think we've done it. I think we're second. I think we're through to the straight through to the group stages of the Champions League, which is, I mean, that's better than we could have hoped for, really. I was just thinking this season just getting to Europe in some description, but this is awesome. We can properly build from this. Please give me some money to spend in AC Milan board. Please, can I have some money? Let's have a look to see if they've given me any money. I would expect to see that now. Yeah, bonuses paid out, yeah, Champions League. Right, here we go. I want like 30 million at least. 40 million, that'll do. What's that? Right, 1.3 in wages. What are we spending at the moment? 1.1. I tell you what. Oh, this is going to be good fun. Wonder Kids, here we come. Right, let's have a quick look at the season and all that stuff. The way we like to at the end of said. I'm excited. I told you it'd be one way or the other. We're excited. Excellent stuff. So, we've obviously finished second. We are only 9 points behind Juventus in the end. I don't expect to be able to claw 9 points back on them for next year. They'll probably win it again next time round. But it's not insurmountable over the course of 2 or 3 seasons, is it? I see a league title in our future. But the priority is winning the Champions League, and getting back into it is a good first step towards allowing us to win it at some point. So, not only have we finished second, Carlos Bacca is the top scorer in the whole of Italy with 26 goals. Abate is joint second, and he would have been first if he hadn't been injured for the last few weeks. So he finishes on 15 assists. Other than that, nothing particularly exciting or spectacular on there for us. But if we switch this over to look at who our best players have been, as expected, Abate has been excellent at right back. Niang has been a revelation. I'd never heard of him at the start of the season. I've never heard of any of these. But I wasn't playing him at the start of the season, and you lot all shouting in the comments, "Play Niang!" Since then, he's played every single game, both on the wing and up front, and he's been excellent. Bacca, who we know all about for all the goals that he's scored. De Sciglio can play at either full back and is excellent. And Montolivo, better. I mean, considering I was reluctant to play him for most of the season, he's actually done all right when he's been involved. So lots of good ratings there. We've got 12 goals from Bonaventura from midfield, really. I mean, he plays out wide sometimes. And who's that? Who's he, eh? 13 goals from our young lad. Oh, he's 25. He must be playing for someone rubbish. Yeah, let's not worry about him. Siri. Is that how you say it? Who knows? So, there's work to do over the summer because this squad is not a Champions League squad at the moment. As you can see from what we've got there, there are a few positions that scream out as needing a little bit more strength in depth. We need attacking midfielders of some kind. I mean, we're quite good as our first choice, but we could really do with some backup for Suso over there. I don't think Luis Adriano or Niang really are Champions League strikers. Niang's good as a winger, but we need another striker coming in, I think. You lot tell me I don't. Goalkeeper-wise, Donnarumma might be first choice next year, and looks like potentially got a decent backup for him. I mean, Diego Lopez can do a season of backup if need be, and we probably need an extra centre-back as well, because once we get beyond Romagnoli and Gomez, we don't really have much there. So, plenty for us to be doing. And you'll find out all about that tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, and you have to enjoy the end of a successful season, so let's make sure. I mean, can we get to 200 likes on this one? 200 likes. We've done it a couple of times on this series already. 200 likes would. I'd be delighted. So 200 likes, please. Keep your eyes out for a video. Well, go back and look at a video that came out yesterday evening-ish with my face on. It says 5,000 subs next to it. Worth watching. Not going to tell you why, because I promised in that video I wouldn't, but it's worth watching. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.